I'll be making a quick reaction video. On the video it says Saudi Arabia must cancel this immediately. I found this video on Sense Islam. Take a listen, and I do not know what the video is about, so once I listen to it I will make a few comments.
Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. I hope you are well. Saudi Arabia, officially the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, is a country in Western Asia. It has two cities that are of utmost importance to Muslims and very close to our hearts, Mecca and Medina. Medina is the luminous city. It is the city of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Mufti Taqi Usmani, Chief Mufti of Pakistan, is very renowned. On the 3rd of September, he retweeted an old tweet of Amana al-Medina, the municipality of Medina, from late 2020, which made the announcement. The tweet stated, in the next 14 months, from November 2020, 28 shops, 10 cinema halls, 32 restaurants, 2 locations for entertainment, 19 open areas, along with other things, will be open at the King's Road in Medina.
Okay, so obviously by the look of it, dear brothers and sisters, it is talking about few new things, new developments in the city of Medina that will take place in the next 14 months, I think he said. When we talk about the Medina, the city of Medina, in terms of end of time, wallahi, there is only one hadith we find. And this is from my study, from my research. There's only one hadith. No hadith talks about specifically Medina, especially in a positive light. There's only one hadith that I came across, and that hadith talks about Medina in a negative way. And this is not to belittle the importance of Medina, rather it is to show the importance of Medina, in fact. So what happened? The hadith talks about, as I have mentioned, actually this hadith, I have quoted this hadith many times, and you can hear it from me again. Rasulullah SAW, he said, Umranu Baitul Maqdis Kharabu Yathrib. The city of Baitul Maqdis will flourish. The country Israel right now, that we can call, that city, that country will flourish. It means that it will have dominance. Politics, finance, you name it. In every way, shape or form, you cannot exclude the state of Israel from world affairs. And that is because of the prophecy that came true. Rasulullah SAW said this will happen. This is something that you can expect, that a time will come, everybody's focus will be on what? Jerusalem. At the same time, people's focus will be taken away from the city of Medina. Kharabu Yathrib. Nobody will, we can interpret this as Kharabu Yathrib basically means Yathrib, Medina will be in ruin. People will not think about this city at all. Wallahi, the time of Rasulullah SAW, Medina was the capital of all the affairs. It became the capital of the whole world, because from there, the Sahaba, they run their affairs, right? Everybody would report to Medina. The Persian Empire, the Roman Empire, who were defeated, where these commands to the Muslims came from? Medina. Now, take a listen. Where is Medina? Any command comes from Medina? No, not at all. The point here is that Medina right now is in ruin, in the sense that nobody talks about this city. No one gives command from this city. No, powerful leader is born there yet. We know the Mahdi will be born, inshallah. He will be coming from Medina to Mecca. The point here is that right now the situation of Medina is so bad that people only remember Medina when it comes to the grave, the Rawdah of Rasulullah SAW. That's the only time they talk about. Other than that, Medina has no value. You can go and pray. There are a lot of virtue praying in Medina. That's it. After that, no more talk. So when these people are building these new palaces, shopping malls, according to this video, it doesn't really surprise me at all, because this is something absolutely accepted in that society right now. Unfortunate, but it is happening. At the same time, I have actually reported in a separate video where I said that they are actually including Hindu Bhagavad Gita, Ramayana, in the curriculum of the Medinan schools. That's what I have heard and read on the internet. I could be wrong, and I hope that doesn't happen. But there is always this possibility, because when you try to make the country more secular and you want to open the country for all, then obviously including text like Ramayana and Mahabharata, whatever it is, makes all sense, because you want to make it secular. It is unfortunate for the Muslims. We will not accept it, because this is a shirk, will be taught in Medina. But the point here again, there are a lot of things happening in Medina that we do not like, and people are wallahi people don't want to even pay attention to the bad things that are happening to the city. The desecration, if you like, of the city is taking place right in front of our eyes, and we are really sleeping.
Mufti Taqi Usmani said in his tweet, "Now there's a conspiracy to establish 10 cinema halls in Medina." Words fail to describe the shock at the news. The kind of soft power the West has over the East is mind-boggling. But soft power doesn't indicate they are morally right. Brothers and sisters, movies have the power to impact the audience. They are a way of telling stories and sending a message to the masses. We all know the goal of today's movies and their makers are far from Islamic values. Unfortunately, something that's taboo, if it's shown on screens, it becomes normalized in public. We should come up with better films, which will take the people closer to Allah. We have few Islamic cartoons for kids. We don't even have enough satellite channels to spread the message.
One thing I also want to make mention of, dear sisters, is the extreme human rights issue. People, especially the leaders, they're so worried about human rights that they want to give you all the rights. They want to give you the freedom to do whatever you want. That includes watching movies like this guy is mentioning, going to a cinema with your wife or with your mother, your father, watching things that are very obscene, very objectionable, but because of your freedom, personal right, human right, whatever they call it, you are allowed to enjoy those things, even though it is awkward, very uncanny, but it is your personal, your human right. This is something extreme, but this is happening right now, and this is where Medina is heading, where everybody will looks like Allahu Alam, but I hope it will not go to that point where people will be able to do whatever they want. A time will come when people will not look at the Rawdah of Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam and they will be like, so what? What's the big deal? Wallahi, they will commit sin right in front of his grave. Wallahi, this is the time we're living in. This is the amount of fitan. And when we talk about fitan, we cannot exclude Dajjal from the equation. Okay, cannot. Anyone says we can just forget about Dajjal and then think about the rest of the fitna, you are mistaken. You're foolish. Dajjal is part of the whole thing. If something happens in Medina, it is the Dajjalic system and his fitna, because he is the greatest fitna since the creation of Adam alayhi salam. It is something. If something is happening in New York, it is because of the Dajjalic fitna. His influence, in other words, can be felt if you are a believer. Every city, every place, every household, and in every individual. His fitna is such. Right now, if you are watching this video, even you are influenced by his fitna, because this is a prophecy. So the point here is that we cannot exclude Dajjal from it. Medina will be ruined, the fitan will be entered there, and the Dajjalic system and the Dajjalic fitan will always be part of that.
Brothers and sisters, we should use this means to spread the truth. As Muslims, we have a lot to offer to the world. It's time we realize this, instead of looking up to Hollywood and Bollywood. These movies have heavy objectification of women. May Allah protect us. Ameen. Coming back to Medina, speaking to Siyasat.com, a famous scholar from Mumbai, Mufti Yusuf Asad, added that Medina is not the private property of the Saud family. It belongs first to Allah and His Messenger, and then to the entire Muslim Ummah. No Muslim will tolerate any kind of immorality or objectification of women in the city Medina, he said. Taking the West as an example, modernizing a country is not a good idea.
Well, this is already happening. Unfortunate, Medina will become very modern. And when Rasulullah said that Kharabu Yathrib, he did not mean Medina will be like very poor. He didn't mean that. Medina will be ruined because the spirituality of it will be completely lost, and that no power will come from that place, no leader will come from that place, and nobody will talk about that place. Jazakallah khair for tuning in. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.